Hello, welcome. I would like to discuss the role of gerunds in a sentence. So if you could follow along with me, please, and I'll give you some definition of a gerund, some examples of gerunds, and what the function of a gerund is and why they're beneficial. How can they help you with your writing? Now, verbals are words that are formed from verbs, but they don't function as verbs. And there are three kinds of verbals, and I will be looking at these within the website. I will provide you with one on infinitives, one on participles, and this one is on gerunds. Now, the effective use of verbals, such as gerunds in this video, will improve your sentence variety as well as your style of writing. And this is why it is important to understand what a gerund is. So if you could follow along with me, please. A gerund is a verbal noun. It always ends in ing. But its function is a noun, although it sounds like it's a verb. It's called a verbal because it's based on a verb and expresses an action or a state of being. But it's used in almost every way that a noun can be used. So it sounds like it's a verb with an action, but in fact it's a noun. So what I want you to do is think of a gerund as a verb in a noun form, and this will make them easier to understand. Okay, let's look at a couple of examples, and you will understand the rules a little bit better when you look at these examples that I've provided. The first one is using a gerund as the subject of a sentence, and let me show you what I mean, how it's used as a noun. Baking is a wonderful hobby of mine. Now in this sentence here, is the verb, and baking is the subject. So it ends in ing, it comes from the verb to bake, but it's not the verb of the sentence because the verb is the non-action word is. So the gerund baking becomes the subject of the sentence. Or in this example, smoking is dangerous to your health. Smoking is the subject, is the verb, and you can see how you would think that smoking is the verb, but it isn't. It's used as the noun. It's the subject of the sentence. That's what's dangerous to your health, smoking. So although it comes from the verb to smoke, you're using the ing form of the verb, and now it's the subject of the sentence. The next example is that gerunds can be used as the object of the verb of a sentence. And if you're not sure what an object is, please review the video that I have on objects, direct and indirect objects. So let's look at this example. Sarah enjoys cooking in her spare time. Your subject is Sarah. Your verb is enjoys. So cooking is no longer the verb. So it sounds like it's the verb because it comes from the verb cook. You've got the ing, so it's called a gerund, and its function is it's the object of the verb because it's telling you what she enjoys. She enjoys what? She enjoys cooking. So in this case, cooking is the direct object. So it's object of the verb. Or this example, my sister teaches diving to the members of our local swim team. You got sister is the subject, the main verb is teaches, so diving is not the main verb. So what's its function in the sentence? Because it's important to understand what the function of every word in a sentence is, or as many words as possible, to help you to formulate well-written sentences. Diving, it comes from the verb dive, but it ends in ing. So that's what we were saying, that a gerund sounds like a verb, but it isn't. It's more of a noun than a verb. So my sister teaches, what does she teach? She teaches diving. So diving becomes the object of the verb. It's no longer the main verb. As well, a gerund can be used as the object of a preposition. Again, I have a video on prepositions if you don't understand what prepositions are. In this example, he wrote a novel about, about diving. He is the subject, wrote is the verb, so diving is no longer the verb. It comes from the verb to dive, but again, it ends in ing, so it's going to be a gerund. It's called a gerund. And here's your object, about. So this is called a prepositional phrase. So diving becomes the object of the preposition about. And in this example, the police arrested the man for driving under the influence of alcohol. you've got the verb arrested. The police is the subject. The verb is, what did the police do? They arrested. And they arrested the man for driving. So that's not the main verb. It does come from the verb again, to drive. But it's not the main verb because the main verb is arrested. So he was arrested for driving. Driving is a gerund, and it's the object of the preposition for. So here's another rule. Gerunds can also be used, gerunds can be used as a subject complement. Now, a subject complement is a phrase or a clause that follows a linking verb, and the linking verb is often the verb to be. A subject complement also follows these verbs: seem, look, become, and like. And it's called a complement because it complements or completes the subject of the sentence. Now, the purpose of complements, they give more information about the subject, or in some sentences, they give information about the object. Subject complements are not affected by any action of the verb. And here are some examples of subject complements. My cat's favorite pastime is snoozing on the living room windowsill. So is the verb, the non-action verb, and snoozing becomes the subject complement. My number one after work activity is reading. Is the verb, and reading becomes the subject complement and the gerund, ending in ing. Like a verb, a gerund can have an object. In this case, the gerund plus the object can be either the subject, the object, or the complement of the sentence. And I've given you some examples. Drinking coffee is a great way to start the day. Drinking coffee, drinking becomes the subject gerund. The next one, I don't like writing essays. Well, the main verb is do like or do not like, but not is not part of the verb. So the main verb is do, like, and writing is the gerund object. And in the third example, my leisure activity on the weekend is cooking a special dinner. You've got the verb form cooking, and this becomes the complement. And then we also need to know briefly what a gerund phrase is. The gerund phrase consists of a gerund, which always ends in ing, as well as its modifiers and its complements. Now, the gerund phrase is always used as a noun. And let's look at the purpose of the gerund phrase, because it really helps you with your writing. The first example, visiting the Grand Canyon was the highlight of our trip. The gerund phrase is the subject of the verb was. So the gerund phrase is visiting the Grand Canyon. So you see it ends in ing, visiting, but it's not the main verb, so it's the gerund. Or driving a car takes focus and maturity. The gerund phrase is driving a car, and it becomes the subject of the verb takes. This next group, I enjoy running by the ocean every morning before work. The gerund phrase is running by the ocean. I is the subject, enjoy is the verb, running is the gerund, and the phrase is running by the ocean. And it's the direct object of the verb enjoy. What do I enjoy? Running by the ocean. Or, Gary finished washing his brand new sports car. The gerund phrase is washing his brand new sports car. Washing is not the main verb. Finished is. It's Gary is the subject, finished is the verb, and washing his brand new car, washing is the start of the gerund phrase, and it's the direct object of the verb finished. What did he finish? He finished washing his sports car. And another couple of examples. After standing on my feet all day, I love to relax on my sofa. This gerund phrase is standing on my feet all day. Standing is not the main verb. I is the subject, love is the verb, and after standing on my all feet becomes the gerund phrase, and it's the gerund phrase which is the object of the preposition after. And another example, after brushing my teeth, I start to get ready for bed. The gerund phrase is brushing my teeth. It's the object of the preposition after, And it can't be the main verb, brushing my teeth, because the subject is I. This is the main verb. The main verb is start. That's the verb. So brushing sounds like it's the verb, but it ends in ing, so it becomes the gerund. So it could be a little bit confusing, but as long as you basically understand the function of a gerund and a gerund phrase, follow these examples, and hopefully you'll have a better understanding of gerunds. So a quick review of a gerund. A gerund is a verbal ending. It always ends in ing. A gerund is used as a noun, so you think it's a verb, but it's the noun. It's used as a noun. A gerund phrase, which is a group of words, consists of the gerund plus some other words, which could be a modifier, an object, or complements. Gerunds and gerund phrases do not require punctuation. If you look at these sentences, there's no punctuation around the gerund or the gerund phrase. And why on earth do we need to know what a gerund is, you might say? Gerunds add variety to your sentence structure. So feel free, please, to contact me. I know the rules are a little bit hard. Understanding infinitives, participles, and gerunds can be a little on the tricky side. So please feel free to contact me and try the practice questions at the end of this video and see how you do. And let me know if you have any questions or you need any more information or help with it. So thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again. Bye-bye.